Hello everyone, welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here. Today we'll be dealing with a contentious topic between our country, India and our neighbor, Sri Lanka. So we'll talk about various things including geographical mapping, environment and international relations. Okay, let's talk about this. So the issue is that recently Sri Lankan Navy arrested Indian fishermen, and this has been happening since the last few years. We need to see what is the main issue between this and what is the way forward. So recently Sri Lanka has arrested 19 Indian fishermen and 2 trawlers. This trawling is one of the major issues between both the countries for illegally fishing in the island nation's water near Delft Island in northern Jaffna province. So please remember this name, Delft Island. Alright. The Navy continues to conduct regular patrols and operations in Sri Lankan waters to curb illegal fishing practices by foreign fishermen. Now, who are the foreign fishermen here? The Indian fishermen. As they have a direct impact on the livelihoods of locals. So, locals, who are the locals here? The locals from the Sri Lanka and the Jaffna. So, as an extension to these operations, the Northern Naval Command deployed fast-attack craft of the Navy and Coast Guard. So, this we are talking about the Sri Lanka. And chase away a cluster of Indian poaching trawlers which were engaged in illegal fishing in the Sri Lankan waters close to the Delft Island. So this is the main issue here, the illegal fishing and bottom trawling we can call. So the fisherman issue is a contentious one in the ties between India and Sri Lanka, with Lankan Navy personnel even firing at Indian fishermen in the Palk Strait and seizing their boats in several alleged incidents of illegally entering Sri Lankan territorial waters. So now please pick up the geographical point of or the names basically. So one is the Delft Island. Here we have seen this is the first name that we need to know. This is the Jaffna province. This also we need to know. And third is this Palk Strait. Alright, so let's talk about all these things, where they are located. Okay, here we see our country India. So on the right side there is Tamil Nadu and the left side there is Kerala. The border towards the Sri Lanka is more with the Tamil Nadu, the marine border we can call. Alright, so here is the Rameshwaram point. Here is the Tuticorin, another point, Kanyakumari, etc. Alright, now we need to see that between the Tamil Nadu here, alright, and Sri Lanka. So we are talking about this side, the right side of India, the eastern coast we can call, or the southeastern coast, and this northwestern coast of Sri Lanka, there is Gulf of Mannar. Please remember that Palk Strait is not here. Palk Strait is towards the right side of Sri Lanka. Alright, even the right side of India, but further towards the right side of Sri Lanka. So please remember where is the Gulf of Mannar and where is the Palk Strait. Alright, now this here is the Adams Bridge. Now it connects this India part to the Sri Lanka part with a bit, and the water is shallow here. So we can just understand it as a dividing line, geographical dividing line between the Gulf of Mannar and the Palk Strait. Now we see that strait is a body. Just a second. I'll clean this up. Alright. So now what we see that strait is basically a narrow area which connects two water bodies. So Bay of Bengal is here. Alright, so this also is Bay of Bengal only, or the Indian Ocean we can call. Alright, so this water body is very limited. Now what happens in limited water bodies, like the water bodies which are surrounded by two countries or a small geographical area, there is more chances of fishing or more opportunities for fishing. Alright, so there is multiple opportunities here for fishermen of both the country. Now this area is more under India and little under the Sri Lanka. However, what happens that Indian fishermen wander into this small area in the Palk Bay or Palk after the Palk Strait, the Palk Bay. Alright, they wander onto here and do some illegal fishing, especially the bottom trawling. We'll see what this bottom trawling is. Alright, next we come to the Jaffna province. So this is the northern Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka is divided basically into two parts. This is the northern Sri Lanka. And the northern part of the northern Sri Lanka here, it is known as the Jaffna province, this here. I'll clean this up again, just a second. Alright, so here is the Jaffna province. This is also written here. This is also the place where you must have heard the LTT, Tamil Tiger Alarm. Alright, Prabhakaran and all. So there was an era in the 1980s or something when there was a huge terrorism, let's say, was here in this area, in the Jaffna province especially. LTT and Prabhakaran was there. Further in the map, we can see Rameshwaram here and the island that was being talked about, the Delft Island here. Alright, so there is a very little distance between the both, and it is divided by the India-Sri Lanka maritime boundary. You can also read about UNCLOS from here. Alright, it is a treaty that decides the maritime boundaries and to what extent the countries have rights over the sea and the rules for travel or maritime travel between the countries. Alright, so let's say some fishermen were in this area doing illegal bottom trawling and they were arrested or chased after. So this is the issue here. We have already read the map. We can see the Palk Bay here also, and this is the Palk Strait. This side is the Gulf of Mannar. Please remember this. Alright, because Mannar is this end. Okay. So in the Palk Strait, a narrow strip of water separating, just a second, separating Tamil Nadu from Sri Lanka is a rich fishing ground for fishermen from both countries. Please remember again and again. This is Tamil Nadu this side. This is the Palk Strait this side. The Palk Bay this side and the Gulf of Mannar this side, and the Sri Lanka is this side. Alright, so please remember this. So there have been periodic instances of Indian fishermen being arrested by Sri Lankan authorities, etc. In 2023, the island nation's navy arrested 240 Indian fishermen along with 35 trawlers for allegedly poaching in Sri Lankan waters. Alright, so this term is coming again and again, trawlers. So what is this trawler? And what is this trawling? And what is the bottom trawling? Especially when it comes to the fishing. So let's see that. So here you can see the sea basically, or the water. Now when the water is shallow, what you can do is have a ship here. Alright, and pass a big net which goes to the bottom because of its weights. These are the weights. Alright, what it does that it just slides across the floor, the sea floor, and it collects each and everything that comes under its circumferential area or the cross-sectional area. Now what happens, this is an easy way to gain the fishes, because in the shallow regions the fishes do not just swim here. Some small fishes are swimming here, but most of the fishes are living near the or live near the bottom area. Alright, so what it does, it collects each and everything. Now along with a large number of fishes, what happens that the biological ecosystem of the sea, it also gets destroyed and collected in this net. So this pertains the main issue. So bottom trawling involves dragging a large net with weight ropes along the seafloor, indiscriminately scooping up fish, shrimp, other marine life. You can read about the impacts here. Basically, it's unsustainable, it damages the habitat, and it produces a ghost gear. Lost or discarded trawl nets continue fishing unintentionally. So basically, just say the lost gear or ghost gear. Alright, if someday or because of some reason, let's say this is cut from here, this is disconnected from here, then what happens, this is dynamic. This net is very dynamic. It does not just settle down on the floor. Alright, so whatever comes in this, it's a black hole for the life. Alright, let's talk about the concerns. So concerns are basically overfishing, the ecosystem destruction, and there are more ethical concerns as well. Alright, the main issue is the ecosystem destruction with this bottom trawling. Alright, so this was the lecture for today. This is Yatharth here. Thank you for your presence. Have a good day. See you soon.